Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Fahim Murtaza, your new English teacher. How are your students? Today we are going to read the novel The Secret Garden, chapter number 4, page number 15. Objectives. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to read the chapter with correct pronunciation. They will be able to describe the picture and write down the answer of the questions. Dear students, before going ahead, we will take a small recap of the previous chapters you have already read. In the first chapter, we come to know about Mary, who lived in India. She is the only child of her parent. She had hair and pale face. A terrible disease killed Mary's parents, and her servant left her alone in an empty house. Two officers visited the house to rescue her and sent her to Yorkshire in England. She was received by a maid servant, Mrs. Whitlock, and she informed Mary about Mr. Craven and her uncle, who lived in a big manor which had 100 rooms. Mary was told not to open the locked door and not to play in the corridor. In the second chapter, we come to know that Martha woke Mary up and told her about her family. Martha told Mary about the secret garden, which had been locked since Mr. Craven's wife died. Mary went outside and a bird was sitting on a tree behind the wall. Ben Weatherstaff introduced the bird to Mary and told her that he was alone like her. The bird flew and went into the garden. Mary asked Ben Weatherstaff to go inside the garden, but he refused to answer. In chapter 3, Martha told Mary about the upcoming spring and her family. Martha went away to her home on holiday. Mary went outside and Ben Weatherstaff was working there. Robin was flying. Robin was the bird. And it was flying. Seeing Mary, it flew down to her. Mary saw a key on the ground, which she picked up and dropped into her pocket. The next morning, Martha brought Mary a present, a skipping rope. Mary skipped and skipped and went near the wall of the garden, of the secret garden. She saw a door. As the branches moved away, Mary took the key from her pocket and opened the door of the secret garden and went inside it. Now, dear students, you will have a brief introduction of the chapter number 4 we are going to read. In chapter 4, we came to know that Mary worked in the secret garden every day. She asked Ben Weatherstaff about the garden and the flowers. Ben told her that he had been working for a lady in that garden 10 years ago. Mary asked him so many questions. He answered and went back. Then Mary heard a sweet noise. She went towards it and saw a boy playing music with a wooden pipe. It was Deacon with her animal friends. Mary told Deacon about the secret garden and revealed to him her desires to rebuild the garden. Deacon agreed to help her. They both became friends and worked together in the secret garden. Once, Mrs. Whitlock came to Mary with the message that her uncle, Mr. Craven, wanted to see her. Now, dear students, this is a picture you need to describe, and you will describe the picture in such a way that the reader can see the picture you are describing. Describe the picture in simple sentences like picture. In the picture, this picture shows that a man or boy is playing music with a wooden pipe. He is sitting under a big oak tree. 3 rabbits are sitting in a circle facing the boy. Okay. Dear students, text of the chapter is being read for you, so listen it carefully.
Mary Mary worked in her garden every day. One morning she asked Ben Weathers, "What flowers do you like most, Ben? Do you like roses?" "Yes, I do," he smiled. "I worked for a kind young lady 10 years ago. Her garden was full of roses and she loved them very much." "Where is she now?" asked Mary. "Heaven," he answered and went back to work. "Oh. And the flowers?" she asked. "Did they die?" Ben looked at her. "Some of them lived." "But why are you asking so many questions?" "Well, I've got nothing to do," said May quickly and skipped away. Then, she heard a strange sound. She went towards it and saw a boy with a squirrel and 2 rabbits around him. He was playing music to them with a wooden pipe. "Don't move, they will run away," he said to her quietly. He stopped playing and stood up slowly. "I'm Dickon," he said, "and you re Miss Mary." Dickon was 12 and he had very blue eyes and a big smile. "Hello," she said, "did you get the letter?" "Yes," answered the boy. "Look. I've brought the tools and sow flower seeds." "Oh, thank you," she said. "I can help you plant them." "Where's your garden?" he asked. Mary's face turned red. She looked at Dickon. "Can you keep a secret?" she asked. "I keep secrets all the time," he said. "Don't worry. I've taken a garden," she said. "Nobody wants it and nobody ever goes there. And nobody can take it away from me," she said and started crying. Dickon spoke kindly. "Don't worry," he said again. "I won't say anything." "Where is it?" Mary took him to the secret garden and opened the door. "Oh, it's beautiful," he said. "It's like a dream." "Did you know about it?" Mary asked. "Arth told me about it." "I always wanted to see it," he said. "I want everything to grow again," she told him. "Will you help me, please?" "I'll come every day," he said. "There is a lot to do but we'll have great fun." The 2 children happily began their work. Mary didn't want to stop at midday. "I have to go for lunch." "Will you leave too?" she asked Dickon. "I have my lunch with me," he smiled and took out a sandwich. "You go and eat and I'll do some more work." She ran to her room. "Martha," she said, excited. "I've seen Dickon." "Well," said Martha. "Did he bring your tools and flowers?" "Oh, yes. They were just what I wanted. And I really like Dickon too. He is waiting for me outside," smiled Mary and ate quickly. But Martha had news. "Your uncle came home this morning, Miss Mary, and he wants to see you." Mary went white. Mrs. Medlock took the girl to her uncle's room. He was sitting in an armchair by the fire. He was a tall man with an unhappy face and his black hair was starting to turn white. "This is Miss Mary, sir," said Mrs. Medlock. "Thank you, Medlock, you may go," said Mr. Craven. "Are you well?" he asked Mary. "Yes," answered the girl. "I'm sorry but I forgot about you. I think I have to get a teacher for you," he said. Mary began to shake. "Please," she said. "Please, don't get me a teacher yet. Don't look so frightened, child. I don't know anything about children but I want you to be happy. What would you like? Do you need toys or books?" asked Mr. Craven. "I like playing outside and I would like a little garden," she finally said. "A garden?" he said. "Do you like gardens?" "Yes," she said. "I want to make things grow." Mr. Craven's eyes got kinder. "Someone else loved flowers too," he said quietly. "A teacher can wait. You can have your garden," he told Mary and he added, "Tomorrow I'm leaving, so, goodbye." Mary was very happy. She ran to her magic place but Dickon was not there. Then she saw a note on a tree. It was from Dickon. "I will come back."
Now dear students, this is your assignment. You need to describe the following picture following the instructions I have given to you in my lecture, in this lesson, okay? And in the end, what you need to do is to answer the following questions, okay?